Just how different can the offense look with the changes this week in 1 week's time? How different can it look? That's what we're asking. And we'll get into, bigger picture questions and looking for, I think what John Cohen has said, Zach, is really interesting because you know me, like I'll read into something in a minute.
You will.
And try to go bigger picture than it probably should be.
Sure.
But I've done that again. So before we get into
what John Cohen said?
Yeah.
What details specifically?
Talking about wanting to announce a coach as quickly as soon as possible after the Iron Bowl. I don't think you say that without a plan, one that you feel highly confident in. Because otherwise you create the expectation that if you don't announce it a couple days after, within a week, that it hasn't gone well.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think in this day and age you can have an interim be the guy during signing day.
Which is half a week after the Iron Bowl.
Right. Right. I don't really think about it from that angle.
Now, as soon as possible.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that theorization right there.
As soon as possible doesn't set an exact date. It's not, it's not like saying, well, the Monday after the Iron Bowl, I want to name a head coach.
Well, but it does. You're right, though. He did kind of set a deadline of like signing day.
Yeah. So is it reasonable to think that maybe he's had conversations that make him confident that you can have an announcement soon after the Iron Bowl?
Maybe. I think the argument is there.
Yeah.
I also think that whether it's your plan B or your plan C or your plan D or your plan E, like having Durkin as the interim as a legitimate option. I mean, I think with all the candidates being discussed, I think he's in my top 3 as far as what I would want for Auburn.
Yeah.
And I've said it a bunch, like that's a pretty good worst case scenario. And so I wonder if that does give him the ability to have that strict of a hypothetical deadline.
Yeah. I heard you mention this on Locked On, I guess. Was it all the way last week? I guess it was. It's crazy. But I guess it was that when you have DJ Durkin already on your staff, you can name exactly what you want in your next coach. And when in negotiations, if they don't meet every bit of that criteria, you can go, well, then we'll go with the guy we got.
Yeah, there's no reason to settle unless, and like we don't know exactly how Cohen or Auburn leadership feels about Durkin. Like we don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty high. I think, but we don't know for sure if they view him as like truly a full-time head coach. We don't know. There's no way we could truly know that until they offer him the job. But yeah, if that's the worst case, like I do, I'm with you. It gives you wiggle room for sure.
Can I make another point?
You can do whatever you want.
And you said it. You said there's no reason to settle. And I think that ought to be like the overarching theme of this entire next few weeks. And frankly, even after a coach is named and in the everyday operation of this program from here through eternity, there is no justification for settling. There is none. College football programs are big-time businesses. You spend money to make money. You invest in order to return on that investment. And Auburn is a top 15 program historically. All right. Anybody trying to paint a picture of the last 5 years as the overall outlook of this program is moronic, especially in today's age of college football, where you can flip your fortunes in a year or two.
Sure.
There's no reason to settle. There's no justification for it. None whatsoever. Buyouts, not an excuse.
Yes.
Current roster, certainly not an excuse.
Sure.
Current roster's good. Support of the fan base, everything that everybody's worked so hard to build around the program to make it elite.
Yes.
Zero reason or justification for settling at this point.
Yep. Nope. I agree with all that. And look, it's cheaper in the long term to spend more on a coach. That's a sure thing. Break the market. I don't care because it's cheaper than having to pay a buyout 3 years later.
Yeah. Now,
in the extra $3 million a year on a coach, whatever.
Now,
and it's also, it's not my money. I don't care. The math still makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. Just because it's not our money doesn't mean it's wrong. But I will say this. So the example we use, we talk about breaking the market. That was what Alabama did in 06. They broke the market. All this insanity over money in college athletics.
It's Alabama's fault.
Began when Alabama paid Nick Saban $3 million a year to be a football coach in December of 2006.
Which is crazy, like how low that is now.
Like at the time, the highest paid coach, I think, was Stoops, and it was 1.2, 1.3. They nearly tripled it to bring Nick Saban back from the NFL. Clearly worth it at the time, but the point is, they broke the market, and it worked. Texas A&M broke the market again with Jimbo Fisher. Michigan State broke the market with Mel Tucker. Those didn't work. So it doesn't always work. But breaking the market can't be a reason not to go and determine. See, it's like everything else. See, Zach, again, this is me thinking too big about stuff. It's everything else in life. You decide first what your identity is, and then your actions fall in line with that identity.
Okay.
So you decide what you want to be as a football program. And then you go, Matt, you don't start with, well, this is the budget and this is this, or somebody's got to have been this, or they've got to have experience here or there, or no, who do you want to be as a program and who gets you there? That's it. That's your criteria right there. And I think it's interesting that John Cohen has already talked so openly about edge, playing with an edge, coaching with an edge, a guy that, your players fear a little bit. That's hard-nosed. That's tough. I think because he said that, you could look at some of the candidates out there and take them out. And you can look at other candidates out there and really pinpoint them.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, some of the ones that we're hearing, some of the ones that appear to have some legs to it, it just doesn't make sense to me. Some of them. And then others where it's like, can this guy get, because that's the question we need to ask with all of this. Is if you want to ask the question, can you win a championship with him? That's fine. Or you can ask the question, can this guy get us routinely into the college football playoff? One of those needs to be the question. Yeah. I'm okay with asking the second one before you ask the first one, but some people want to go straight to the first one, and I'm totally okay with that. I totally get it. But with a lot of these, it's like, can DJ Durkin win a championship? I don't know. Like, he hasn't.
Right.
So I don't know. Could DJ Durkin get you to the college football playoff? Maybe. Could John Summerall win a championship? Not sure. He hasn't done it.
He's won conference championships.
He hasn't won a power conference, but yes.
Right.
Sure.
That's right.
Sure.
Yeah.
So, okay, at least he has won a championship, so that's good. Can you win? Can he get you to the college football playoff? Maybe. He kind of almost did it with Tulane, but I would argue the path for Tulane making it is almost easier than the path for Auburn making it, despite the SEC getting more spots, but whatever.
Yeah.
Can Kenny Dillingham win you a championship?
Don't know.
He
won one at Arizona State.
But he could get you to the college football playoff. Yeah. I'm pretty confident in saying that.
Yeah.
Jimbo Fisher's a name that's popped up a ton. Can you win a championship with Jimbo Fisher?
Yeah.
No.
Well, he's done it, though. So. But he's done it.
40 years ago.
40 years ago. It wasn't 40 years ago. It was 12 years ago.
I don't think so. I don't think he can anymore.
I don't think he's a serious candidate, Zach. I'll be shocked if he's a serious candidate. I think this is agents putting names out there with their media buddies, and it's kind of the old,
no, I get it. It's part of it. That's great. That's
Yeah.
great. Whatever. And I'm not saying that shouldn't be part of it. And if Auburn, I think Auburn's okay with that getting out there because you don't want people knowing who you're truly going after.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a bad thing,
right.
But it is a name being discussed, so we have to discuss it.
Sure.
I don't think you can get to the playoff with Jimbo Fisher. I would argue you have more assets at Texas A&M than you do here as far as money to dump into to NIL, and it doesn't. He couldn't do it. And if you want to say Auburn's close or whatever, that's fine. He still couldn't do it. Like it's close, and he couldn't do it. Wasn't even close to sniffing the dang.
You've said a C word 3 times. I don't know what word have you said? Auburn is what?
Nice.
What have you said?
I didn't say Auburn was close. I said Jimbo Fisher could not get close.
Sorry.
Are you throwing up right now?
A little bit.
Feeling under the weather?
Well, just that word. I got a visceral reaction to that word.
Yeah.
Don't love
it.
Hey,
close.
Let me ask you a question.
Close. Let's do one more. The other big one. James Franklin. Can you win a championship with James Franklin?
Don't know. No, you can get to the playoff.
You could get to the playoff.
Yeah.
Are we in the CFP within 5 years with James Franklin? I would say yes to that.
Yeah. Well, see, this is like the head coach and team comment from Monday. I don't separate the two. Like, to win a championship, you have to be in the playoff. There's only one team winning a championship. 12 of them, and going to turn to 16 of them, get there.
And I'm not talking about just the Natty. I know some people don't care about conference championships anymore. I still care about it.
That's fair.
That still means something to me.
Yeah.
And so it's like, so when I'm saying, can you win a championship? It's like, can you win either the SEC or the Natty? Of course, would be better. But I would love for Auburn to compete for SEC champions again, because that's the first part of it. For an SEC championship, you got a shot at the whole thing.
The James Franklin discussion is like, well, he can't win big games. Well, he won enough to get in the playoff and win 2 playoff games, first of all. But second of all, hey, big games are great down the road. I'd like to win some medium-sized games, I'd like to kind of win some of the medium games on a regular basis. I'd love to get back to you win the games you're supposed to win consistently year in and year out. That'd be great. That'd be the next step. Yep. And then from there. But again, start with who you want to be. And then regardless of whether a guy's 65 or 45 or a group of coach or a power conference coach or an assistant or whatever, who's the guy that gets you where you want to be? You set your identity first. Let me ask you this. Who gets you to a playoff faster, Dabo or Jimbo? Dabo or Jimbo? Because Dabo's time at Clemson, the writing is on the wall. He's ready for a change. They're ready for a change. His record's ridiculous, but he's been in the ACC.
This question is nuanced, because Dabo's style of how he would build a program would be what Freeze just tried to do.
Yeah.
And so it would take several years to get to the roster back to where, we thought it was going into where it was going into this year.
Yeah.
And I don't think you'd have to start entirely over.
Wait, hang on. You think the roster would take a while to build the roster back to where it was at the beginning of this year?
Yeah, I mean, we got to see how many people leave.
Yeah, but I'm glad you said that then. I've never been less concerned about roster turnover or roster building than I am today in this era of college football. If guys leave, and you have talented people in your recruiting department and evaluating and whatnot, you've got enough support there. You have enough attractiveness here. You're going to fill those spots. I don't worry about that.
You're missing a key element, though, with this question that you asked. It's your question. I'm just answering it.
That's fair.
Dabo and Jimbo.
Yeah.
Dabo is who we're talking about. Your logic is sound. If a good wide receiver 3 leaves, you can get a wide receiver 2 or a wide receiver 3 probably with the same money that we're paying our guys. Yeah, I agree with that. Dabo's not going to use the portal.
That's fair.
He doesn't use the portal.
I hear you.
So that's why your question is nuanced, because I think Dabo is the better coach, but it's going to take him time because he's not going to use the portal unless he's forced to, which then I think there's probably another problem there if a coach is being forced to do something he doesn't want to do.
Yeah.
The answer to the question is Dabo, because I think Dabo could get Auburn there eventually. I don't think they could sniff it. Yeah. I don't think they could get close.
Okay. All right. That's fair.
Any pushback on that?
No, I don't think I have a pushback.
Argue with me.
No, you would then, in order for it not to take a couple of years, you need guys not to leave. You just have to retain. Your
Correct.
retention would have to be
Yeah, and
the
I
best.
think
Which isn't, I don't know how realistic, like, I'm fascinated to see what retention looks like. Again, I'm not worried about roster building, but if you bring in a guy who's going to coach people hard and get after them, and it's a shift. Do the guys on the roster now just want a fresh start, or do they want to be like, oh, finally I'm going to get used in the way I thought I was going to get used?
yeah, and the guys that people are mentioning the most about being concerned about them leaving,
Yeah.
I don't think are the right guys that they're mentioning.
Yeah.
I think it's like, I don't think it's the top of the roster. I think it's like 10 through 25
Mm-hmm.
that makes this roster good. And that's who I'm concerned about.
Yeah. I think that's fair, because your top guys are being paid better, and your top guys are going to be guaranteed almost that they're going to be used. And they're
there's
looking
some
for
guys that are in the top 10 that we probably should get to walk.
Yeah.
Because the what we're paying them isn't market. It
Right.
doesn't sound like.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. It's a really good conversation. Would love to know your thoughts in the comments
Hey,
on all of it.
you're a good conversation, my
Hey,
guy.
thanks. Rhoback is a good conversation, and so is the Vanderbilt game. We're going to talk about that after you talk about Rhoback.
Auburn does have a game this Saturday. It's easy to forget.
Sure do.
Rhoback.com. Use promo code BARN20 for 20% off your order. RHOBACK.com. Use promo code BARN20 for 20% off your order. They've got the quarter zips. They've got the hoodies. They've got the polos. They've got everything over at Rhoback. Once again, promo code BARN20 for 20% off your order.
How many points does Auburn need to score to win Saturday?
24.
That's a lot of points.
For this offense, it's like climbing Mount Everest.
Gosh, how much? So they only gave up 17. It did. They only get something about Everest, did it? And just the utter defeat in your voice. Just it's like you or me climbing Everest is what it sounded. Listen,
I don't know how they missed this bad at quarterback. I don't know. I don't get it.
Yeah.
And there's a chance that it's scheme, and some of the play calling I think could get fixed and it look a little bit better. But man,
I think a lot
I
of
just don't get it.
I know. And I don't, and I'm the eternal sunshine pumper. All right. I get it. I'm the ESP. I just think it's a lot less quarterback and a lot more figuring out the offensive line piece. Now, how do you do that? I mean, how do you make a 17-year-old grow up, without being right there in the line of fire? Or do you make a change on the offensive line?
So I know I am a defender of our O-line for sure. And it wasn't good this past weekend.
No.
But let's zoom out and just look at the season. I mean, how many times did we scream Jackson's back there for forever holding the ball?
You're right about that.
It's not on the O-line.
No, you're right.
Now,
it's not all on the O-line. You're right.
Now, the Kentucky situation was awful. That was really bad. And some of it, and yes, that was bad. I will concede that for sure. Right. But I'm so hesitant to predict anything with this team because they just keep finding ways to like upset me and let me down. But I just don't think that's the matchup where Vandy's going to beat Auburn.
Yeah.
Is their D-line versus Auburn's O-line? Maybe I'm ridiculous.
We'll see.
But it might. But they're the ones who feel all of this crap. They're the ones who feel no sort of passing patterns downfield. Yeah. They're the ones that feel no threat of a run game, even though we can run the football. Yeah. The offensive line is the one who feels, predictable play calling. The offensive line who feels, poor quarterback play. The offensive line feels all of it.
Yep, you're right. I hear you. But you just listed several elements that are now different, theoretically. Because we talk about play calling, predictable play calling.
A week ago?
Yeah.
Play calling and what else?
I mean, so that's the big one.
I mean, it's important.
Yeah.
It's important for sure.
It's a big one because it affects the other things. It affects the routes that are run. It affects the commitment to the running game. It affects all those things. So last year,
you affect all those things.
Thank you. Auburn limited Diego Pavia to 2.2 yards rushing per carry on 12 carries. He had 26 yards. He had a long run of 7 yards. Auburn gave up 17 points a year ago. I think you could argue that Auburn's defense is even better this year. And that if you score 17, which I understand feels just as heavy lifting as 24, like anything beyond 14 feels difficult. I think you can get to 17 and win this game. If you can get to 17, you can win this game. I think points are at such a premium. Both teams are going to want to hang on to the ball.
You think if Auburn scores 17, they win?
Yes. That's what I think. The Vandy offense.
Why you're playing matters so much. Vandy still believes they've got a shot, and they do. Is the change in leadership enough for this Auburn team to play for?
It is week one. So. Yeah, I think it is week one because I think you have a new hunger and a new energy from the guys on offense, and you have the same hunger and energy from the guys on defense. You're still playing for postseason, which is whatever, but you're also playing like players today. It's different from players 10 years ago. You're playing for what's your next year going to look like? Whether you stay at Auburn for a new head coach or whether you transfer, you put stuff on film.
Like a contract year. Every year is a contract year.
Every year for every player is a contract year now. So you're auditioning for somebody, for the NFL, for another team, for your new head coach.
Yep.
You're auditioning. So I think it's very interesting to see, and I do. Again, I'm the eternal optimist. I get it. I don't apologize for being a sunshine pumper. Don't ever do it, and I'll never, ever concede a game before it's played. But I expect a different level of hunger and want from this team, a different edge from this team. And I think we'd all agree that's kind of what they have been missing. You talked about it after the first few games of the year. Who's the guy on offense that wants the ball in the fourth quarter on a potential game-winning drive? Who wants to make the block? Who wants the football? Who wants to make the catch?
Yep.
Who's the guy?
Yep.
I think it's reasonable to think you could see a different kind of passion from those guys this week.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so. I think that does it for today's show.
It does. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Make sure you hit subscribe and be with us Friday, 10 a.m. Central for the Village Vice live slice.
It's going to be electric.
With Lou Holtz and Animal Facts.
I'm going to be sleep deprived Friday morning.
That's what, you know what? The new head coach needs to be like an octopus. Needs 3 hearts, not just one. Everyone has vices. Make sure Village Vice is one of yours.